Welcome back. This is episode number 364 of the Healthy Diabetic Podcast. I'm Coach Ken. Joining me, as always, is my good friend and diabetes partner in crime, Graham Hubbard. If you don't know much about our story, me and Graham are two type 1s who have just about a little bit over 50 years of lived experiences living with type 1 diabetes. We talk about everything diabetes on this show, and we really hope to inspire you to think differently about how you're managing your diabetes. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new, we welcome you. Before we get started, please remember that nothing that you hear in this podcast should be considered medical advice or otherwise. Please always consult your medical team before making any changes to your diabetes management. Graham, what's up, my man? How are you doing? It is Wednesday, July 1st. It is Wednesday, July 1st, dude. Crazy.
America 250.
It is July.
America 250. Is that going to be special for you?
Not really.
I will tell you, I'm looking at it. It's going to be a war zone on the street in front of my house. You go out because I'm very central Orlando, but it's also Florida where people love fireworks. You go out on my street, it's like a war. It's like a war zone.
Everyone's already got fireworks set up.
My God! Well, the night of the night of July 4th, like once.
Oh, gotcha.
It is nonstop. It is crazy, dude. And yeah, it's so funny around here. They have pop-up tents. If there's like an empty field, there's been a pop-up tent for fireworks for the last 2 weeks. Yeah. Crazy. My neighbor, I have a new neighbor who just moved in. He actually works on facial reconstructive surgeries. That's one of his specialties. And I can already tell just by meeting him, his references like, gunshots, but he says around now, he goes, the firework injuries are crazy.
Oh, I bet. I can only imagine.
He said essentially, like, if you don't die, your face is broken. Your face is literally broken. Like can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
People are crazy. Have you ever shot something where you're a little like, maybe I should have thought twice about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I have.
You mean like like younger or something more recent?
No, younger for sure. Yeah, younger. Yeah.
And M80s, throwing M80s in ponds.
M80s, just humongous freaking crackers, like bottle rockets. I mean, you name it. Stupid.
Okay. Speaking of 250, I had a question that I've never asked you.
Yeah.
Do you know your diaversary?
Yes and no. Do you know your diaversary? To the day?
No, but
I know it to the month. I know it to the month. I don't know it to the day.
I can narrow it down to like maybe 10 days, but no. Go ahead. When is it?
So mine is in June. Like I was diagnosed probably, I would say, at the end of June. So I graduated from college mid-May. We went to our lake house in June. Typically it's
what year? What year is this?
07. Yeah. We went that year. It was just me and my mom that went for a week, right after I was done. And when I came back, I went to the doctor because I was peeing all the time and excessive thirst. Those are literally my only two symptoms. And I was 450. I felt like I'd go run a marathon.
Who told you to go to the doctor?
Nobody. I just went because I knew that peeing every 45 minutes was not okay. Was not what was supposed to be happening.
Did you have a guess of what it could have been?
No. Oh God, no. I had no idea. No. Back then I was like, whatever the doctor says, I did it. Yeah. Back then. I don't do that anymore, but yeah.
All that I knew for me was by the time I was let out of the hospital, it was about 2 weeks before my birthday. So I always around like February 15th. So I'm February 1994.
Yeah.
Which is ironically the exact same time my mom started the company that is now my company, which was named after, even more ironic, which was named after me. So yeah, as long as the family company has been around, I've been diabetic. But I used to think about it every February, and I lost track of it probably after like 25 years, something like that. People, so it's like an important thing though. People talk a lot about By the way,
People talk about it a lot,
we're
yeah.
speaking of your diabetic anniversary. I haven't even maybe heard of diaversary, but do people tell it in remembrance or because it's horror stories or it's like you think do you think it's mentally beneficial for someone to like what is going on? What is in your opinion, like what's going on with
Yeah, that's a challenging question because I think it's on both ends of the spectrum, or in both sides of the coin, as I like to say, because people remember it because it was a significant thing in their life. Being diagnosed with something like type 1 diabetes is a very significant thing in your life. Whether you're on the other side of the coin or not, it all matters about how your diagnosis was. Did you have a positive experience? Were you, like, in pain? Were you having lots of challenges? Were you, and most people were, maybe not in pain, but having challenges, with whatever symptoms they're having symptoms, which is why they're going to the doctor. So, I think it's an interesting question on both sides of the coin because I think it is important to recognize and celebrate it, but I also think it's seared into our brain because of not necessarily a negative thing, but it's seared into our brain because it is it's a very important time in our life when our life did change, right? Our normancy or whatever you want to call it, like our life did change the
normalcy?
day normalcy,
Normancy? You said normancy. Normalcy.
normancy.
Normalcy. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think it is a significant time in our life, and I think it should be celebrated. I think it should be celebrated in a positive way, not a negative way. Some people I feel like are celebrating it's like, oh, it's my diaversary, the day that I was diagnosed with this horrible condition, and it's just like I just feel like when we start going down those roads and with those powerful emotions, like oh, this is the worst thing ever. You can't heal from that. You're not putting yourself in a position to be able to heal. And for me, that's where my power comes from with living
Mm,
with diabetes. I would have never been able to have great blood sugars, great time on range, great A1C, feel incredible, feel completely trust everything I'm doing in my management without healing,
yeah.
without putting myself in a position to be able to heal. Um, and it breaks my heart when I talk to people that are still stuck in that position of, victim mentality or total negativity about the condition. They wanna blame everything that's happening, and I
I,
really am sympathetic to that individual.
I don't want to break your heart by saying something really deep, but I had this thought one time, and this will hit you like a ton of bricks because you'll say, "Wow, that's true. I just never thought of it." The worst part about diabetes is that we're always waiting for something. We are always waiting for something, as in
Yeah.
your
Yep.
the easy one, your next appointment with your endo, and you're going to get your A1C. But the second one, and I thought about this, and it really fucks a lot of people up because it's been in my life for 32 years, is hearing about and waiting for the cure
Yeah.
and choosing if you're going to be hopeful or not about it. And that's a really hard reality because diabetes sucks every fucking day. And then you're like, oh, it's going to get better, or I'm going to have another day. And then it's just Memento. If you've ever seen the movie Memento, go back and watch Memento. It's like, you
And
might have
watch it
to watch it a
reverse.
few times, but it is so true. And it's just like, it's shit. It's shit to be constantly waiting for something.
Why are we waiting? That's my question.
It's because that's what we that you know why. You know why because an A1C
I
is
don't know why.
you do know why. It's all built on the A1C, which is a 3 months view of your thing. And then you go to your endo and you're afraid of if I do this, if I do that. So you're like, okay, I got 3 months to fix it. And then you see your endo, and then you hear a study really, really positive of all this islet cells, transplants, and therapies. And for a little bit, you get excited. Oh, it fizzled out, and then you get another 3 months to go see your endo, and it's just it's we're playing this stupid game and hopes, dude. Like, who would do something this hard every fucking day without hope that it's gonna get better? Isn't that the whole reason for doing it? Are you
No.
maintaining this? Are you maintaining status quo? Or are you hoping for things to get?
Not hoping for things to get better. I'm actively making things better by taking action, by believing and trusting that I can do it. So
But you
what
don't.
you're
But
saying is
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, do it. Go for
No,
it.
I'm just what you're saying is important, Graham, because for me, when I had those same thoughts, it was holding me back. I couldn't heal. Couldn't heal because I was constantly upset at the situation. And the reality of the situation is not going to improve unless you actively decide and choose to improve it. We can sit here all day long and say diabetes sucks because it does. But are you going to live? My whole thing is like, I used to live in that space. All this sucks. So because it sucks, I just don't care.
Yeah, but you weren't taking action. You and I are taking action every day, bro.
And this is why this is really good because me and you are totally different people. And we've had this conversation on previous episodes. You can tell yourself that this sucks and it's bullshit and all these negative things because that drives you to be better. I can't do that. I never have done that. I used to be that person and it held me back. And this is why what last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago, when we literally had like a 20-minute conversation about this, because that drives you, the fear, the anxiety, the confusion, like that drives you to figure it out. That has driven you your whole entire life with diabetes to figure it out. Whether you still have the emotions, okay, but the emotions don't like hold you back from making decisions that are going to make you healthy with this condition. I can't say that about me. I had the emotions, the negative emotions of terrible negative self-talk about myself. You're a piece of shit. Why you? Why this? Why? All the things. And it held me back for a very, very long time. The only way that I came out of it is because slowly people that were really important to me got into my life and I decided for myself to change the emotions, the way I was thinking about it, the way I approached it, the way I approached every single day. I wouldn't feel okay with getting up and not taking insulin. I wouldn't feel okay with eating 70, 80 grams of carbohydrates and not pre-bolusing and taking enough insulin and being pissed off 2 hours later when my blood sugar is at 400 because I didn't do the things I'm supposed to be doing. That wasn't okay in them anymore. So I decided to learn and do it differently. And now here I am. I'm a coach that coaches people how to think differently. We've got a podcast that talks about this stuff every single day. Like it is literally I'm eating and breathing diabetes because I don't want everybody else to be where I was for 3 or 4 years. It's no place to be. And I know that I took years off my life because I was in that place because I didn't have support. I didn't have help. So that's why for me, this is such a powerful part of this conversation because I've told you this before. You're the 1%er, man, of the population with type 1 diabetes that has those emotions sometimes and it fuels you to be better. A lot of other people are playing the victim game. A lot of other people are where I was in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, just not giving a shit or telling myself like I was a 3-sport athlete and I'm a crazy athlete. I'm above this. I can take care of this. It's not a big deal. Lying to myself as I'm still having roller coasters like crazy, tons of lows, tons of highs, tons of sticky blood sugars, not having stability in my blood sugars because I wasn't doing the little things, because I wasn't pushing myself to do the little things. There wasn't anything in my world that was making me do that. Nothing can make you do or change your behavior. You have to want to change your behavior. Once you want to change your behavior, now you can start taking action on actually changing behavior. For me, that's where all this is like, it's just so important. And I just wish that everyone understood that because I hear so many conversations and DMs. Like I'll get in a message with an amazing person on social media and I'll ask them, we'll engage in a conversation. I'll ask them like, how's your blood sugars doing? When were you diagnosed? Oh my God, that's amazing. How's your diabetes going right now? I would say 7 out of 10 times, maybe even 8 out of 10 times. The first thing that said, it's okay. It could be better, but I'm hopeful. I know what to do. Well, if you know what to do, why aren't you doing it? It's because it's not a priority or you haven't chose to actually change your behavior and how you think about it. This is our life. It's our livelihood. If you don't take care of your diabetes, there's a high chance that you're going to have a lot of problems. A high chance.
By the way, and I always do appreciate the compliment of the one percenter. Don't forget I was a kid. Like I think
Well, of course.
kids
Of
that were
course.
diagnosed it's hard for you to know any better. I would love though to start asking people more often because it has to be aside from people like me that were kids that were diagnosed from it has to be the vast majority of diabetics are motivated by the fact that this could go away. And I say that because it is a little bit unlike other diseases where, it's confusing with type 2 diabetes, where it's lifestyle related. And if you make a change, there will be an end in sight, and then there's a lot of talk of cures and things like that. And I do sympathize a little bit with a type one. Again, I do think we all are motivated. You're talking about something very important. Obviously, I I have no question in my mind that I'm living proof of living, eating, same as you, right?
Mhm.
My point is that whether or not it's healthy to be motivated by the thought that this could go away, and I find
I
it.
think it is very healthy. It
Yeah,
is
I
very
don't. I don't
any
agree. I don't
emotion.
agree. I don't agree. I guess I just don't agree necessarily. But
Agree with what? The thought process of it's healthy to think it's gonna go away?
yeah, like it's healthy to be hopeful that you're going to be just a normal person.
But you are a normal person. But that's right there.
What?
Those
What?
words
What?
those words those words are part of the
I'm
problem.
saying that sarcastically because when I am trying to do normal things and I have to take time out of my day to sit
How much
down
time are you
and eat
taking?
something and then I'm watching my blood sugar. Bro, it's not about time. It's
Well, you
about
just set a time. You gotta take the time out of your day,
this is
but
a
you're not
few
really taking that much
this is
time.
gonna be one of those few days where I'm being self-loathing. Um
Yeah.
it is very it is very depressing. When I'm in the middle of something and I'm like outside sweating my ass, like enjoying like getting a task done and I have to go and take time out of my day. It's not fun when I'm being intimate with my wife and I'm like again, like I feel across the board perfect. Across the board I feel perfect. But then in the back of my head I have to like stop and be like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Then I go back again to a task and it's time to fucking eat and then do that whole rigmarole.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I had never heard of diabetic burnout until Ken, and I guess I just never had a name for what I just described. It's just like,
Yeah.
and then I literally, dude, I called. I love my doctor here. It's her staff is the issue. This is my phone call today. Write this down. Graham Hubbard Humalog. Again, Graham Hubbard Humalog. Fill it today. Hang up because I have visited my doctor. She said she called it in. I had to get on my chart. My chart says we'll submit it to the nurses. I get on there. It's just this whole fucking rigmarole where you just get so sick. Like the fact that I'm having to put emotion in it, the fact that I'm having to put time in it. Like I saw the doctor. She fucked up. It didn't get in. She fucked up. It got on my chart. She fucked up. I then got to call them. Bro, at what point are you just like, seriously, man? That is not a normal person. And that's just for one of my scripts, which is
So
ironic
do you
because it was the most important one all along. But all the other ones that they want to fill and that was easy to give you this and that. No, fill the one that I fucking needed all along. It was crazy. It's like crazy, dude. So
yeah.
like it's just I don't know, bro. Again, I think I am better off just knowing that this is just what I have to. I don't know. Quit threatening a
I wanna go
fucking. Go ahead.
yeah, I wanna go back to one of the original things that you said, 'cause I think it's an important thing to bring back up in this moment. Is it okay for us to be hopeful that there's gonna be a cure? Should we be thinking about that all the time? Or the answer to that, my answer to that is It depends on the person. Because again, it goes back to one very, very important specific thing. Whether there's a cure tomorrow or in 50 years, you still have to live with diabetes either for the next 24 hours or for the next 50 years plus. Why are we spending so much time and energy focusing on something that's not here yet? We can be hopeful all day long, but why are we so attached to that? And I'm telling you, I believe that the person that's so attached to that is the person that is really having a lot of struggles and challenges with their mental health and with their management style. Because if that person wasn't having a lot of issues or a lot of like challenges with their identity with diabetes, with who they are with diabetes, with living with diabetes, with their management, if they were secure in pillar one, which is mental health, if they were secure in that, then it wouldn't matter if there's a cure tomorrow or in 50 years. It wouldn't matter because they're living their life the way they want to live. And I truly believe that every single one of us living with diabetes, there is no reason why we can't live whatever life we want to live. Nothing should hold us back. Nothing. There are simple things that are going to hold us back for sure. I can't go to space. I can't fly a fighter jet. Can't do it as a diabetic, but I can still live a freaking incredible life and however I want to do that. But that's only going to happen if I am in alignment with pillar one and pillar two, mental health and being able to understand how to manage diabetes and make confident decisions. If you are not in that place, then you're going to continue to hate this disease and continue to want things to change when you're either not doing the things to be able to change or focusing on things that you cannot change, that you have no control over. We have zero control over whether there's going to be a cure or not. Zero. Regardless if you're sending letters to your senators, sending letters to RFK about passing this freaking islet cell bill, whatever it is, we can 100% do that stuff. But at the end of the day, we don't have a real direct impact on if there's actually going to be a cure. We can scream it from the rooftop. We can scream it from the skyscrapers 100% all day, every day. We can advocate for it, which we should be doing. But doing that is not going to hold me back from living the life that I want. That's how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know.
Well, it's funny that something I thought was pretty minor actually brought up a pretty important that.
It is. And going back to your original thing that you said, diaversaries. Do we think that this is a thing that people celebrate? Do we think that this is something that we should celebrate? Is it important? I think it is 100% important because it signifies a very impactful place in your life. Whether you were diagnosed at 3 months old or whether you were diagnosed at 25 or 50, 60, whenever you were diagnosed, it signifies a very important space in your life. And you should celebrate that.
I'll
But celebrate that with, but I would say that we want to celebrate that with as much positivity as possible and not a bunch of negativity. Oh, well, been diabetic for 32 years. Here we go. Here's another year.
sure.
Like, if we're just doing that as a joke or if we're Graham and it doesn't really affect us, cool. Do that all day long. Have fun with it. Have fun with it in whatever way you want. But as soon as you start bringing negativity into the conversation, into your management, into your life about diabetes, burnout is in your future.
You know,
I
you
promise you that.
you
And
and
we don't want to be in that position.
you and I have a fun relationship because we are positive for we are different but positive for each other, and we complement each other, and I I bitch on one side that there is no finish line, but yeah, I guess it's all in how you look at it. You probably do that as a trainer, which is great. I noticed one thing I really, really like about my new endo is you could tell she makes the time to tell you you're doing a good job. You're like figuring it out. And I remembered as a coach, I loved to be the asshole. Like I will always love being the asshole coach. But those kids that were working hard and it was showing and it was making a difference, I took the time to compliment like, and you can tell like
Yeah.
when you give somebody 5 minutes to say, dude, you are doing enough. You are doing what it takes. It really does motivate and help a person and keep them going. So That's another thing I say with advocacy for diabetes. It's really good to have a either diabetic friend or someone that can just tell you you're doing a good job on a regular basis. I have an aunt. Her way of doing it was donating every year, and every year she would
Mm,
be like, she would always tell me, "I wouldn't keep doing this if you weren't someone that I could reference as a positive." I have
yeah.
an eye. My mom has a friend who's an eye doctor who does the same thing. She's like once a year because she's like, I see so many blind people, and then I see the way you're managing. She's like, so I always say like, I have this standout fucking guy, and she'll always donate like annually, and so
Yeah.
I answer. I guess my answer, my own question. It's how you approach it and how you look at it. I do think there are people like me where I don't like to overly obsess about. I don't know. It's hard to say, man.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
very
It
we have
is
a
hard to say.
very unique we have a very unique disease, man. Very, very unique. Very, very,
It
very
is
unique.
it
So
sometimes, not all the time. I don't always have this thought, but sometimes I feel like it is not just a unique disease, but it is an interesting and fun puzzle. Of course, I only have those thoughts when things are working out, not when things are going to crap. But I sometimes think about that, like that it's kind of like a fun puzzle. It's like, cool, I made that decision. Damn, that didn't work. Oh, cool, I made that decision. High five myself. 100% that worked. That's great. I knew that was gonna work. I've done it 1,000 times. Cool. Like, I wish for me, I wish I celebrated the little things more often. I don't celebrate the small things enough. Like when something really goes right, I don't celebrate the small things enough. It's like, okay, cool. That's what it's supposed. That's how my brain works. Okay, well that's what was supposed to happen. All right, next thing. Instead of like really taking it in and be like, man, that was a great decision I just had. I didn't really know if that was gonna happen, if that was gonna work, but it did. I'm proud of myself right now. Like I don't do that enough.
I don't like to celebrate because I feel like the older I've gotten, the more self-destructive I am.
Yeah, I can
Like
understand that.
celebrate to me is like a beer, and then a beer, I'm like, oh, let's go skateboarding, and then a skateboarding, I'm like, and then I'm like
Yeah.
getting CTE or like, just like tonight, like there's a soccer game, but it doesn't start until 8 o'clock. So I'm like, what are we gonna do all night? And what if we lose? I'm sure you don't care at all about the game, huh? Bro, we
No,
win every four
I would turn
years. Every four
I would
years.
turn it on. I would turn it on, but I ain't watching the whole thing at 8 o'clock because I gotta be
Uh,
up at 4:30 tomorrow.
what about you got plans for the 4th of July?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to a festival. It's a festival we always go every single year to. We go to it every single year. So yeah,
On the 4th on Saturday.
I think we're actually gonna go Friday and not on the 4th. But there's a parade at the festival that
Hmm.
we might that I think the girls are gonna go to. I'm not gonna go to because I'm gonna go into the gym and take clients, and then I might drive out there Saturday after I'm done and hang out with everybody. But we'll see what's gonna happen. I don't know. But I think for sure we decided that we're gonna go to the festival on Friday. So I think all of our friends are gonna go to on Friday too. So yeah,
Well, be safe and enjoy your holiday.
yeah. Yeah, you too. You too. And everybody else that's listening to this, you guys too. Be safe, have fun, and my goodness, please, from both me and Graham, please, 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 give yourself some grace. You are doing a fabulous job. You're doing the best you can do under the circumstances. My question to you is: are you doing all the things that you should be doing? That you should be doing because you might not know everything. I don't know everything, but the things that I do every single day, I know those things work for me, which gives me great stability, which is what we want. So give yourself some grace, have fun during this weekend. July 4th weekend is a fun weekend. So take some time for yourself and just have fun. Graham, thank you as always. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Let us know if you liked this episode. If you did like this episode, you can comment on this episode, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Comment and let us know if you like this episode. Remember to join us live Mondays and Wednesdays. We've been off for the past couple of weeks, but we're going to get back onto the lives Mondays and Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Jump on, listen to our conversation, ask us questions. That's what it's about. So thank you so much for listening. Graham, thank you. And we will see you guys next time.